Hello there, and welcome to the basement and the Saturday Night Chill. I hope everyone's doing pretty good. Oh my goodness, we got a whole lot of shit that happened this week, yo. Whole lot of shizzle. Where is everybody? I've been betrayed. Who cares? Anyway, so we got all kinds of DCU news, we got Star Wars news, and we got Den of Nerds news as of today. So, I hope everyone's ready to. Granted, this is a weekly summary, so you may have heard some of this stuff before, you may not, but either way, we going over it tonight. So to begin with, I'm gonna have a drink of my beverage. That's how we're gonna begin. Delicious. Anyway, so one of the first things we need to talk about is the DCU and Mr. James Gunn and stuff he's been up to lately. We had all kinds of fun articles this week. The big one was from the Hollywood Reporter. And of course, my stupid ass phone dropped it, so just give me 2 minutes and I will find this mug. Nope, don't care about that. Come on. Come in. Do something cool. Alright, you're not gonna. Oh, my apologies. I had this stuff set up and then fail. This is why I cannot wait to get a desktop and have the 2 monitors set up, because then this shit won't happen. So, that's a bummer. You gotta be kidding me right now. What the crap, Hollywood Reporter? My apologies to everybody, both live and on the replay. Although from the looks of things, it's going to be more on the replay, but that's all right. I don't mind. So, one of the things we heard about DC this week is Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 is done. DONE. And the article is titled, Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 not moving forward as DC movies hit turning point. Exclusive. New DC Studios heads James Gunn and Peter Safran are in the final stages of prepping their multi-year plan ahead of next week's pivotal presentation to Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav. Call it DC Rebirth or DC Genesis. Maybe call it Identity Crisis or Flashpoint. These titles of past DC comic event series aptly describe the state of Warner Brothers DC movies, which are on the cusp of a new era, but not before a potentially messy transition period. A cleaning of the slate is common when a new executive team is put in place to run a studio or division, but there's likely little precedent for the amount of Clorox James Gunn and Peter Safran could spray as they prepare to launch DC Studios and guide superhero movies for the next half decade and beyond. The duo in recent days flew back to Los Angeles from the snowy city of Aspen, Colorado, where they were huddled in deep planning and now, like holy figures coming down from the mountaintop, have sets of commandments or a DC Bible in hand, or at least a working blueprint. Gunn and Safran are expected to meet next week with David Zaslav, the Warner Brothers Discovery CEO, who's radically reshaping the media company and who hired the duo in October to lead a newly launched film and television division. Television division. The pair will unveil the Zaslav plan that is expected to lay out their vision. Although much of their plan, which insiders paint as still a work in progress and one that has yet to be approved, is being kept deep in the Batcave, details of several possible paths forward are trickling out, and at least one path not being taken has also been revealed. Multiple sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 is not moving forward and is considered dead in its current incarnation. Sources say that Jenkins recently submitted her treatment, co-written with Jeff Johns, and that Gunn and Safran, as well as Warner Brothers Pictures co-chairs and co-CEOs, Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdy, broke the news to the filmmaker, telling her the project, as it stood, did not fit in with the new but still unfolding plans. Jenkins directed and co-wrote the previous two movies starring Gal Gadot and released in 2017 and 2020. No decision has been made about next steps. And while costs are not a factor, insiders say that DC Studios will not have any overburdensome financial restrictions. The studio could end up saving tens of millions of dollars by not making the third installment. Gadot, according to sources, was on track for a $20 million payday for Wonder Woman 3, while Jenkins would have received $12 million. Those figures don't include any possible back-end bonuses. Warner had no comment. It is unclear how any future Wonder Woman movie and Gadot's portrayal of the hero would fit into the new DC plan. In a bit of head-scratching timing, Gadot tweeted out of the blue a thank you to fans Tuesday, saying she was grateful to be allowed to play the heroine and role model, adding, "Can't wait to share her next chapter with you." It was unclear whether or not the actress knew the project was being toe-tagged. Well, at worst, that tweet didn't age well. Or at best, that tweet didn't age well. The rest of the DC slate remains in flux, or at least is being kept deep in a pocket of Gunn's own utility belt, but there are several rumors and possible scenarios to consider ahead of next week's meeting. The first, which builds on the shuttering of Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3, is the closing curtain of the Snyderverse and the heroes cast by filmmaker Zack Snyder for his Justice League. This one sees the shutting down of Man of Steel 2, with a returning Henry Cavill and having no more Aquaman fronted by Jason Momoa. These characters are to cameo in Flash, the highly anticipated time travel adventure movie that is due to release June 16th. Cavill shot his part of the cameo in September. But sources say there's a debate inside the studio as whether or not to keep the cameo and if its inclusion promises something that studio would have no plans on delivering. A Warner's insider cautions that no plans have been finalized and that Flash remains an unlocked picture. The Cavill situation is more than a little thorny, as the actor made a cameo in Black Adam, the DC-centric movie released in October. The Monday after the movie opened, Cavill posted a video on Instagram where he announced, "I wanted to make it official, I am back as Superman." And at that time, he was not incorrect. Warner Brothers was indeed developing a sequel for 2013's Man of Steel and actively meeting with writers. Andy Muschietti, who directed Flash, had even expressed interest in sitting behind the camera for something that would have brought a tone similar to the hopeful and heroic colors of the 1978 movie directed by Richard Donner, considered a benchmark in comic book movies. Love me some Christopher Reeve. In fact, the current leadership team at Warner Brothers Pictures, Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdy, did desire one more go-around of the Snyderverse heroes, possibly even having another Justice League movie with those actors. But that was before Gunn and Safran began formulating their new, and still in flux, plan. Also unlikely is a sequel to Black Adam. Despite the hype surrounding the movie of launching a new corner of DC, a lot of it led by star Dwayne Johnson, the movie has only grossed $385 million worldwide, and insiders at the studio say the movie, which cost more than $190 million to produce, two sources peg the actual cost at $230 million, not including marketing, will be lucky to break even considering ancillary revenue. Even if the movie does eke out a minimal profit, any follow-ups, inherent rising costs dim the prospect of a sequel. Oh, crap. I just realized I'm going up against UFC 282. That may have been a tactical error. But, oh well. Johnson hoped to carve out his own piece of the DC pie, but multiple sources say his playing up of a returning Cavill and his own involvement with DC may not be endearing him to new management. Johnson and Cavill are both managed by Danny Garcia, who is also Johnson's producing partner. The perception of Adam turning a profit or not is a conflagration now being waged in public, with Johnson tweeting the movie would net over $50 million after a Variety story said the movie would lose over $50 million theatrically. Momoa, meanwhile, could emerge as a pivotal figure in the new plans, according to several sources. In one scenario, the actor would wrap up his days as underwater hero Arthur Curry with Lost City, due out December 25th, 2023. Ooh, Momoa for Christmas. Enjoy that one, people. Which would be the final movie release that was made by the previous regime. But it would not spell the end of the actor's involvement with DC, with sources saying the actor would lead another movie or franchise. The character of Lobo, a foul-mouthed, cigar-chomping intergalactic bounty hunter, has been mentioned in connection with Momoa. Just as a quick aside, oh, that would be so dope. I know Lobo is kind of a fringe character, but I've read some of the books, and he's fucking awesome. Whether or not Momoa does play everybody's favorite Bastich, which is one of Lobo's favorite words in case you didn't know, Lobo emerges as a rising character early on in the conversation, may point to the kinds of characters the Gunn Saffron team may be focusing on. The character is an outsider, an anti-hero, and is keeping in line with Gunn's specialty of taking the offbeat and quirky and flipping it into crowd-pleasing fare. See Guardians of the Galaxy. Part of the plan could entail a truly fresh start and having no baggage from any previous regimes as they set about resetting how DC movies and shows are made. That, however, does not take into account the possible success of movies such as Shazam! Fury of the Gods, March 17, 2023, on which Saffron is a producer, and Blue Beetle, August 18, 2023. So I'm just trying to process Shazam! Fury of the Gods being considered successful. Anyway, would that plan include forging ahead without the actors who inhabit those characters and recast them even if those movies prove to be box office hits? Observers are convinced the plan calls for an interconnected story universe, and there's rumblings of the establishment of a creative brain trust. The brain trust may be already rolling in some capacity, as sources say that Saffron had in recent weeks been meeting with writers at his LA home in an effort to hone the presentation, gathering feedback and ideas for the plan. One part that the Gunn Saffron agenda seems likely not to touch, at least for now, is the Matt Reeves Batman universe in which Robert Pattinson dons the cowl of the Caped Crusader. Reeves is writing the sequel to The Batman, which opened March 4th. The filmmaker is also overseeing the launch of 2 Batman series that spin out of his movie, including The Penguin, which I have no idea why they're doing that. But hey, if done right, the Penguin's can be quite a compelling character. I don't know if any of you ever watched Gotham, but that version of the Penguin is pretty dope, I gotta say. So, everything's still in a kind of a shakeup. It's looking like Wonder Woman 3 is gone, obvi. We still don't know about Man of Steel 2. Because let's face it, this particular story is from Tuesday, so it could be just a wee bit behind. Oh, yes. Another thing that died along with Wonder Woman 3, Michael Keaton coming back as Batman in what looked like or seemed like it was going to end up being a Batman Beyond movie. That's toast. Stop it. Oh, my goodness. One of these days. I had to fight with my fucking camera for like 10 minutes before I could even get on here. So evidently it's going to be just weird. Now, the next day after the Hollywood report we just went over, a new article came out the next day. It is James Gunn responds to DCU Snyderverse rumors, urges patience. And it goes, after yesterday's report in the Hollywood Reporter regarding rumbling, it's one of those days, my apologies, regarding rumblings that DC Studios co-heads James Gunn and Peter Safran's plans for the DCU would not include Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Henry Cavill's Superman, Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam, or the Snyderverse, but may bring us Jason Momoa as Lobo, please. It would be pretty safe to say that folks were curious to know if it was true or not. We're saying that the torches and pitchforks were out, but let's just say that Gunn and Safran has people attention. Now, James Gunn, just real quickly, popped out a tweet. His response was as follows. So, as for the story yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter, some of it is true. Some of it is half true. Some of it is not true. And some of it we haven't decided yet whether it's true or not. I don't really know about y'all, but that's not a very satisfying answer. I mean, obviously, he's not going to give the whole game away. That would just be stupid. But Yeah. Then again, I suppose he was just attempting to give us like a wee bit of hope. That he's. So, yeah, another thing is a lot of people are like freaked out about Henry Cavill maybe being gone as Superman. I will say I am going to be disappointed if that's the case. I myself, like, Cavill as Superman is for me literally behind just Christopher Reeve, and that's it. Christopher Reeve, obviously the man, and that's not just because I grew up with him, because obviously I've seen other Supermen and stuff, and like I just said, I love Cavill's Superman. So honestly, I hope they bring him back in some fashion or another. But it's going to be interesting to see how that is exactly handled. And here's where we get into a little bit of fun stuff. As of today, our own Josh from Den of Nerds, and I say our own because I am a Nerd Venture. Nerd Ventures for life. Josh went ahead and got on the tweeters, as he likes to call them, this morning, and threw out a tweet saying James Gunn does not like Cavill. Okay. And then some random Twitterer, quote tweeted that at James Gunn and asked for a response, and James Gunn responded with, basically just said false. Could have ended there. But our guy Josh, we love him. Like, I'm not even mad at him. I think this whole thing's funny as shit. But he went ahead and tweeted back, since you said false, I've had like 40 people come and tell me that, you don't like him. So, of course, Gunn, as he has been active on Twitter, as we all know, goes ahead and tweets back something to the effect of, it's like, oh, well, they're all wrong. I thought you were so connected. About 40 people just told me you just made it out of your mom's basement. So sorry. Now we all know Josh. He's a dad, got his own place, got the Elisa, got the Luke and Leia puppies. So obviously we know he's been out of his mom's basement for quite a while. And for the record, this is my own basement. This is not my mom's basement. My mom, bless her, has been gone for a while. But yeah, this is just, my basement. It's mine. Oh, yay, 2 people. Welcome. I've just been talking about the DCU news so far this week. All the James Gunn stuff. With that big old Hollywood Reporter article on Tuesday. Talking about Wonder Woman 3 gone, and maybe Man of Steel 2 gone. And maybe Momoa going from Aquaman to Lobo, which I honestly think would be dope. I don't know if anyone out there has ever read the Lobo comics, but they're awesome. My buddy Ray got me into them. And Momoa is literally built to play Lobo. Like, Google an image of Lobo right now. Just do it. Pull it up. It's fucking Jason Momoa. End of story. But, so yeah, a lot of flux going on. And then there's another article saying that, accusing Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 script of, the initial reports just said it wasn't right for the plan as it stood. And so they're like, go ahead and, go fix it. But some new reports came out later saying that script was just ridiculously disjointed and half-assed. Black Dragon. Welcome. That's actually not true. My wife wants nothing to do with this basement. She's got the whole upstairs. And I have no problem with that because we agreed to all this. We agreed to everything when we moved in here. So it is my basement. If I were to pan the camera around, I could prove it, but she would also kill me. So, and welcome, sir. Good to see you again. I appreciate you as a regular. I really, really do. So I'm glad to see you, and welcome. So yeah, it's kind of fun over in DC. And again, as I was just talking about, our Josh went to war with James Gunn on the Twitters earlier today. If you've been in the Discord at all, you've seen it. But just to summarize, Josh tweeted out that Gunn doesn't like Cavill. Gunn said false. Josh tweeted back that I've got like 40 sources that say you do, that say your false is false. And then Mr. Gunn went ahead and said, I thought you're way more connected. Congratulations on finally getting out of your mom's basement or some shit like that. So yeah, it it got interesting. All the screenshots are on the Den of Nerds Discord. You can look at that shiz on your own time if you're in it. But yeah, so I mean, if James Gunn is to be believed, he doesn't dislike Cavill. I mean, which is fine. Also, doesn't mean you're going to continue on with him as Superman in your new plans either. So that really isn't any kind of reassurance. Lobo's okay, just not one of my favorite characters. Well, yeah, I mean, he's more of a niche character. That is for sure. I cannot disagree with that. It's you gotta have, yeah, he's more of a niche character for sure. Definitely not mainstream like your Justice League participants, or at least most of them, or any of that kind of stuff. So, excuse me, my beverage made me burpy. My apologies. Oh, damn, too. My good gravy. Anyway, so yeah, lots of shakeups over at DC this week. It's going to be interesting to see next week what happens, because next week is when Gunn and Safran make their appearance before the mighty Zaslav and present the DC Bible, as it were. So I cannot wait to see what comes out of that. See if Zaslav's like, cool, rock on, or if he's like, yeah, please try again. That's going to be fun to find out. Because at least at that, I'm really hoping he okays it as is, honestly, because that's when shit's going to start moving. Once they get approval, then they can start, shit's going to start moving, and we can finally get some solid details from these scoopers / leakers / insiders / what have you. Because right now, other than Wonder Woman 3 getting murked, everything else is just kind of in limbo right now. I mean, it looks like Man of Steel 2 might get murked, but that's actually not been fully confirmed yet. So that's gonna be interesting to see. Now, as I said earlier, I don't know if anyone had hopped on by this point. But so far as actors playing Superman go, Cavill's my number 2 behind Christopher Reeve. Done. Like, I'm not saying any of the rest of the guys who have stepped up have done a bad job by any stretch. I actually can't comment on the TV version of Superman. I never watched Smallville, although I've heard many, many good things about it. So at some point in time, I'm actually going to have to. And nor have I watched the current iteration Superman and Lois, although I've heard good things about that too. There's just so much shit to watch, and I don't have enough time. Anyway, but yeah, so at least at this point, from all the stuff that my own eyeballs have gathered in, it's Reeve, Cavill. That's it. So I would be. Black Dragon agrees. Yeah. So Yeah, so I would love to see Cavill back. That would be like if they want to take him more of the Donner direction rather than more the Snyder direction. I'm totally fine with that. That's a bit closer to it's closer to a majority of how Superman has been written in comics. They've done some Elseworld shit with him, a little bit darker and that kind of thing, but for the most part, we're used to the bright primary colored outfit and the hopeful Boy Scouty Superman, with a smile. And that's the direction Gunn has said he wants to go into. So it's going to be dope. Just the big question is it going to be Cavill or is it going to be somebody else? Now, when it comes to Aquaman and Momoa, another person has popped in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Feel free to participate in the chat. This is an interactive program. Black Dragon ain't shy. Rock on, buddy. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Momoa. I enjoy him as Aquaman. However, the Momoa Aquaman is a holdover from Zacky Zack, so it is entirely possible, while still unconfirmed, but a possibility, a decent possibility in my view, that he too will be, the Momoa Aquaman character will be a victim of James Gunn's plans. And again, he may end up playing Lobo. And he himself has hinted at that on his own socials. And actually, while admitting that it's a possibility, he started off by saying how much he loved the character and has wanted to play the character. Which, again, I'm totally down for, because Google an image of Lobo and then Google an image of Momoa. If anyone was born to play anybody, it's Momoa Lobo. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. But awesome at the same time. So, and then there's a report of that Wonder Woman 3 script that initially was just labeled as not right for the plans. Reports have come out that it was just a complete disjointed, half-written, basically pile of poo. And of course, that being the case, if that's the case, Gunn and Safran were well within their rights to be like, sorry, Ms. Jenkins, please come back with something better. Mr. Dragon. Henry Cavill respects lore. It's my understanding that Cavill left The Witchers because the studio really strayed from the lore. That was definitely part of it. The other part of it was also donning the red, blue, and yellow again, too, because he left The Witcher right around the time that that The Rock was hinting around at Superman's return. So I think it's a two-part thing. I think Cavill was like, hell yeah, I'm ready to be Superman again, and I'm really, really, really ready to be Superman again because the writers on The Witcher are fucking this shit up, and I don't like it. So I think it was kind of a dual thing, probably, since at the time and still now there's no actual contract signed. I think it was, like you said, I think it was still more about the fact that the Witcher writers were dicking around too much with this, with the actual lore of the video game. And Cavill was sick of it, which, I can't say as I blame him. He joined he signed up to play The Witcher because he loves the game, and I believe there's some literature that supports it too. I've honestly never been into The Witcher myself. I've got it on my to watch list on Netflix because I personally am a Cavill fan, not just of his Superman, but I've been a fan of Henry Cavill since way back. He was on a Showtime show called The Tudors. You guys should check that shiz out if you're able to. It's a magnificent show. If you like period pieces, it's the bomb. So I've been a Henry Cavill fan for a long time. So I was stoked when I first saw he was going to be Superman in the Man of Steel. And I really hope he continues. But, obviously we'll see. Again, the big part is when Gunn and Safran go meet with Mr. Zaslav next week and for final approval or being sent back to the drawing board. Allow me another drink of beverage. My apologies. Getting a little froggy. I don't know where the little bastard is, but he's been disappointing my cat. One of my cats, like, is my cat. And I'm surprised he honestly hasn't, like, tried to attack me or one of the many cords I got floating around here. But if you see a little black and white tuxedo all of a sudden appear, like, literally here, that's just my boy Darth Smudge. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I got me a new little streaming buddy, too. Little Black Panther beanie baby I picked up at the corner gas station for $5. They had a Captain America one, too, but, I figured one splurge purchase was enough. And this is a big, it's been a big year for the Black Panther part of the MCU. So much love, Chadwick Boseman. We miss you, man. Anywho, just that quick aside. Unlike other Hollywood elites, Cavill seems more like one of us. Yeah, in some interviews, he does seem fairly down to earth. That is true. He's he said a couple little wonky things here and there, but you know what? He's human just like the rest of us. We're all going to say stupid shit sometimes. Just ask my wife; she'll tell you. And I don't blame her because I freely admit I say stupid shit. Ooh, I made a rhyme. Anyway, so yeah. That's kind of that's the summary of the DC news that most of us probably already know. But again, this is a Saturday night show. So this is what we do. We go back through the week, find the fun stuff, talk about it. And the DCU isn't all the fun stuff. We got some fun Star Wars shit this week too. The Jedi Survivor trailer dropped at the Video Game Awards along with that weird kid claiming Bill Clinton is his reformed rabbi and taking the Elden Ring Award in his honor, which I don't even know what the hell that was. No one does, honestly. I think I saw a quick blurb that they did figure out who he was and he got arrested for that mess. So, like, honestly, this is going to play out how it plays out. I don't really care. It's just one of those things that's like so weird you almost kind of want to keep track of it, but not quite weird enough to where you really don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's just right in that little spot. But like I said, that was just the one thing. The big thing was the Jedi Survivor trailer. Now I'm not a huge gamer. I play when I'm in the mood and have time, which is not that often. I did borrow Fallen Order from a friend of mine, and I have started playing it. I'm not very far. I've only just finished the first planet, and then I just headed to Dathomir and got my ass handed to me by a bunch of big ass beetle looking critters. So I'll get back to it, obviously, but I know Justin! What's up, my guy? How you doing? This is the guy for gaming. You want to go to this guy's channel for gaming. This guy, Justified Jedi Survivor. Yeah, it does look dope, bro. It does. Glad to see you here, man. How was work? Did it suck too bad? I mean, I had to work this morning myself. So Black Dragon love Fallen Order. Really look forward to this. Yeah. And there was just so much cool shit in that trailer, yo. So much cool shit. Like, and the big thing, who is that one-armed motherfucker in the tank? Who is that guy? Because we see him twice. We see him in the tank, and then we see him in another scene chilling in like full-on High Republic looking robes with a haircut. Still missing his right arm, though, because if you look, his shoulder is straight down. So the question, one of the things people try and figure out is the scene where he's in his robes talking to that big purple guy who some people have said is a Gundai, and I still need to look that shiz up. But yeah, so the question is that scene a flashback? Thank you, Aussie Star Wars nerd. Welcome to the basement. I appreciate you coming in and subscribing. The trailer for Survivor was awesome for sure. You need to play it and stream. Yeah, buddy. Shit. Dude. Well, first of all, if anyone would like to, start a collection for a nice desktop for me with 2 monitors and all the fun stuff so I can do shit like that, I'd be more than happy. Because trust me, right now, I am dying because I want to pop articles up. But every time I try and do it just on my little laptop here, it just gets stupid. It gets dumb and it don't work. Trailer for, yeah. Justin, I have no idea the theory. Yes, I watched that actually, literally, while I was getting my stuff together. See, I like watching other people's stuff about that stuff because, like, I am a nerd, but I am not a sweaty lore expert nerd. That's why that's why I follow guys like Theory and Josh and Comics Explain and a few others. I don't have my subscription list private. If you want to know who I follow, you can see. You'll even see that I am subscribed to Darth Melvin, even mostly because when he rips on people, he's funny, not because I agree with his takes. I'm literally 99.9% diametrically opposed, but he's entertaining, so I watch his shit. But yeah, that dude, he's a mystery. And if you something that a few people have pointed out, Theory being one of them, was in the first Survivor, the cinematic trailer they released a few months ago. There's that guy in all the with his face covered in the big old hooded black robes with his Sith blade only having his left hand, and that's all he was fighting Cal with. And kicked his ass, by the way. If you missed that part. So it's looking like whoever this dude is, whether he's a former Jedi that went dark side or was always dark side and was in prison, or went dark side back in the High Republic, and that's why he was in prison in the first place. But whatever. Somehow it's looking like he's going to end up with a red Sith blade, and he's going to be doing some fucking damage. Now, as for Cal, I mean, the upgrade in his fighting style and the combos, holy crap. That looks fucking amazing. I cannot wait till you hardcore gamers get this game and start streaming it so I can learn all about how good the mechanics are and all that kind of stuff and the movement and what have you. I think that's going to be dope. How about the Jungle Wampa? What do y'all think about the Jungle Wampa? Because literally that's the only one. That's only the second one I've ever seen. Because like I said, I haven't gotten into any of the comics, and the Legends books are just that, books. Not a lot of pictures in those puppies. You saw it on the trailer that Sith was also wearing those same robes. Oh, see, yeah. Okay, see, I only noticed the big black overcoat robe thing that he was on. What are you telling me, computer? I love seeing that old style of lightsaber fight. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. It's not to open this can of worms again, but that's what I've been missing from Disney Plus for a while now. Yes, they gave us, some lightsaber action in Kenobi, but I mean, just straight getting down blade to blade, it's just fucking awesome. See, Star Wars nerd, my theory is that the main planet in the game will be Rishi. Oh, I know that name. The Rishi. Okay, someone help me out with that. Was there a Rishi Accords or what? When the hell was Rishi talked about? It's like, my brain. I can't make my brain work right anymore. It's so fucking annoying. But yeah, someone refresh my memory on the Rishi thing, because I know the name. It's like my Rishi info is like right about, yeah, right there where my hairline ends, and it won't come any farther, so I can fucking talk about it. But yeah, Jungle Wampas. How dope is that? And that thing looked way bigger than the Hoth Wampa. At least to me. The way they animated it. Not that I care, because it just looked dope anyway. But yeah, his new Old Republic. Okay. Old Republic. Rishi Maze. That's what it is. The Rishi Maze. Okay. Ha. It finally made it. It must have got tangled up in the last of my hair and then slid on my scalp. Anyway, where was I? Yes, the lightsaber combat. His new moves and combos look freaking awesome. How about the fact that he's messing around with like 3 or 4 different sabers in this puppy? He's got the one that in the first trailer looks like it gets taken away from him by dude in the tank and delivered to that Utapawan senator or whatever the hell that guy is. It's not the Grand Inquisitor. It may not be as sweaty, but I know that much. That ain't the Grand Inquisitor, although that's what he should have fucking looked like. But that's another rant for another stream. Rishi was a planet located in the Abrian Sector's Rishi system of the Outer Rim territories. Dope. Oh, now I remember. The Rishi Maze was brought up when in Attack of the Clones when Kenobi was looking for Kamino. When he went and saw Yoda. And Yoda was mocking him. Lost the system Obi-Wan has. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. So yeah, then he does a little hologram thing. He's like, it's supposed to be here, just outside, or wherever he points, here, just outside the Rishi Maze. You guys know the scene. So yeah, that's where I remember. That's where I remember Rishi from. Justin, we got a little in Kenobi, and that might be the only parts I love about Kenobi besides the convo between Vader and Kenobi. Yes, but hopefully we get more of that style in Ahsoka. Yeah, for sure, bro. Faux show. Black Dragon, no, not the yes. Just a senator. Obviously a shady ass senator, but which I think probably most of them are at this point in time. But yeah. And how about we get a blue cross hilt saber in this puppy, huh? And that thing literally reminds me of like the lightsaber version of Braveheart's sword. Did you see the blade length on that bitch? That was a fucking lightsaber claymore. If you know anything about blades, that was a fucking lightsaber claymore, and it's dope for me. One moment, please. Did I not turn? Oh. My wife's on her way home. How nice. Sorry about the notification noise. I do have my Do Not Disturb turned on, except for select people that are very important, and obviously my wife would be one of them. So that should be the last time you hear my Sith Saber go off. That's my notification tone, if you even heard it. But if you did, my apologies. So yeah, that Jedi Survivor looks freaking dope. Also, we got a whole bunch of, well, not a whole bunch, but we got some kick-ass set pictures from the Acolyte. I don't know what everyone's mileage is on that. I think it has high potential based on the treatment or the synopsis that was released. And we got a little hint. We got a few more hints of what's going on from those pictures, though. We know. I'm not even going to try and say his name. Dude from Squid Game, though. I refuse to dishonor that man's name by mangling it the way I would. So, but dude from Squid Game is a Jedi, obviously. To some people in one of those, the photograph where he's bringing his hood up, some people are thinking it looks like he's got a little droid left hand going on too. Although I couldn't really tell that, but we'll see. But yeah, Squid Game guy, definitely a Jedi. We saw the Miss Stenling. We saw her in a scene kneeling with some other lady. We saw what appeared to be some kind of warrior, some kind of guards, a couple people with bows and quivers of arrows on their hips. And what's cool, the coolest part of all, at least for me so far, we get another Wookiee Jedi besides Gunji in Bad Batch 2. I know some people were freaking out about the Top Nut. Seriously, get a fucking life. But justified MF bro, I'm on such a wait and see. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's... Yeah, I mean... How to say this? Because one of my goals on this channel is not to go super hard unless it's unavoidable. So let me say this about Disney Star Wars, at least for me. This is just for me. They started off badly by not going into the ST sequel trilogy with a plan. That was their first humongous mistake. And Iger, the newly backed Bob Iger, which many people are celebrating, that was on him too. He was the one like, okay, we have this now. Let's get some product out, get some money off this bitch. So the sequel trilogy is just as much on him as it is on KK. Well, maybe not just as much because she approved the final stories, but he put the pressure on to get shit done. So it is definitely not equally on him, but he's got a good 30 or 40% in my opinion on that shit. And then they followed it up. And then they tried to do the Star Wars story series, which Rogue One was dope. I enjoyed Rogue One a lot. Solo for me was just okay, but obviously we all know it bombed, and that was primarily because of The Last Jedi. Now, let me pause here for those out there who may see this, who are actual sequel fans and defenders of the sequels. To you, I say, I'm happy for you that you found that you actually legit enjoyed these movies and don't have problems with them. I will say I don't quite understand why, but you know what? Good on you. There's plenty of things out there that I like that other people don't. So you know what? To each their own. These are just my thoughts, and like I said, I'm not gonna go super hard. Because I'm not trying to trigger anyone. I'm trying to maintain my my name right there says chilling in the basement right there, and that's why I want to be. I want to be chilling. So that being said, however, we know Solo suffered because of the blowback from The Last Jedi, because they hired a writer who nerfed Luke, and who since then has actually been quoted in Rian Johnson, and who since then has been quoted as saying, oh, I lost 2 people. They must like sequels. 3. Oh, shit. They must all like the sequels. My apologies. Anyway, but Rian Johnson's been quoted as saying that he's not happy unless half the people that see his movie hate it, which to me is just fucking dumb. So, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, they dicked up initially with the sequels. Solo didn't help. Then came Disney Plus and The Mandalorian, and we all rejoiced because Mandalorian's freaking awesome. Then came Book of Boba Fett, and they nerfed Boba, and they threw in 2 Mando episodes, which are the best 2 of the season for me. Again, this is all me. And then we got Kenobi. Now, I had high hopes for Kenobi. I really did. I'm like, sweet. We get legacy characters. We get Ewan and Hayden back. Wow. We get Ewan and Hayden back. And this could be cool. And then we got, well, dropping like flies now. Well, either I'm pissing people off or some good fights just happened out of the UFC. One of the two. Anyway, yeah, we got a disjointed, half-ass written story, not well filmed, and with like a budget smaller than most of the other Star Wars shows before or since. And that's just not how you treat legacy characters, in my opinion. So, and then we got Andor, which, as a science fiction TV show, was fucking awesome. Well written, well shot, well acted. Just for me, the only problem is purposefully went away from the fantasy side of Star Wars, and at least for me, if you remove the fantasy side of Star Wars, you're removing Star Wars, because Star Wars is fantasy. It's not sci-fi. When you're injecting an energy field that unites everything and that is the manipulatable mystical energy field, when you inject Night Sisters magic, when you inject Sith magic, when you inject Sith alchemy, that kind of stuff, you're in fantasy. If it was just straight sci-fi, that's what Andor was. There was no fantastical elements to it at all. It was people just using the tech available to them and weaponry available to them at the time with no enhancements, no fantastical enhancements or anything like that. So, and that was my only problem with Andor. Was you when you get rid of the fantasy, you're essentially getting rid of the Star Wars. But yeah, so that's why I'm with Justified MF, and I'm kind of on a wait and see basis too. Now next year, though, I mean, we've got Bad Batch season 2, and I liked the first season, so we got Bad Batch season 2 on January 4th. We've got Mando season 3 on March 1st. March is big too, because 16 days after Mando season 3, we actually get Jedi Survivor. That comes out, did they say the 16th? Or is it St. Paddy's Day the 17th? Someone help. It's right in there, though. So we get that. At some point after that, we get Ahsoka. Last I heard, as far as we know, we're still supposed to get a Skeleton Crew next year. Ooh, that leads into some more fun stuff. Oh, I haven't been paying attention to chat. I'm so sorry, chat. People are telling me stuff. Lagrang said, I think Cal takes it off. Oh, this is back to the lightsaber. I think Cal takes it off one of the combatants during his travels. In the trailer, he battles someone with an orange saber. It looks like his hilt with what looked like fold-up crosshair. Okay, that'd be cool. Aussie Star Wars nerd. There was a Wookiee Jedi in the leaks. He looks like Plo Koon's master from Legends Tavaka. Yeah. I haven't gotten to the part my Legends books. I don't have enough of them, and most of them are all they pretty much stop at episode 6. So obviously Plo Koon's master would be from before that, but I'm way behind on my collection, so I don't have that book. But yeah, if that's him or someone related to him, that would be dope. Black Dragon, haven't seen Andor and have no plans to. I mean, honestly, unless you're in terms of Star Wars, again, for me, you're not gonna miss much. So Black Dragon 17th. All right. Well, happy St. Patty's Day. We get Jedi Survivor. Oh, and don't forget they got that Battle Scars book that fills in some of that 5-year gap between Fallen Order and Survivor. So the other fun Star Warsy news is coming from the Ahsoka show and Skeleton Crew. So evidently, if any of you have watched Rebels, you know that at the end of Rebels, Ezra got those critters to take him and Thrawn very, very, very much far away. Initially it was, I don't know if it was said or assumed, but at least I'm going to go with thought for now that they ended up in the unknown regions. But now we've got some reports coming out saying that they're actually in something called new space. And in this new space, the Force is treated differently. It's more of a true magic, which sounds cool as fuck. So we could actually see, so in this new space, there's all kinds of possibilities. We could see Night Sisters, if not actual Night Sisters, Night Sister type of creatures. As magic users, we could see some actual straight sorcerer / wizard types. We could see people who are kind of sort of using the Force like Jedi and Sith do, maybe, although it is said directly that they look at the Force differently in that region of space. So, I mean, it's going to be really dope when we finally get out there to see how being in a different part of space for. So what? Rebels ended a couple of years before Battle of Yavin, right? So basically, go from Battle of Yavin to where Ahsoka's going to be set. You're looking, good 10 years or so. So, yeah, Ezra's been Ezra and Thrawn have been there for at least a decade. So who knows what the hell Ezra's picked up in terms of knowledge and skills at that point. So there's going to be all kinds of fun stuff they could do with that. Now, that has got me very, I don't know if excited is the word, but definitely curious, intrigued. So yeah, getting into that region space is going to be pretty sweet. And also, there's a tie into Skeleton Crew because there's a tie into Skeleton Crew because that new space is evidently where they're going to be trying to get out of. They somehow end up trapped there and they're trying to make their way home. So Skeleton Crew is essentially Star Trek Voyager for the most part. But with the Force, so it's cooler. I love you, babe, but that's just the way it is. My wife is a massive Trekkie. I mean, I love me some Trek too. I personally don't feel if you can be a sci-fi fan if you do not at least acknowledge the greatness of the Roddenberry. But anyway, so I mean, that's still only the little bit we know about Skeleton Crew. It's Jude Law and some kids of varying ages trapped on a ship out in what is now going out in new space, which is different from the unknown regions, which is where Thrawn and the Chiss Ascendancy and all the people they play with are from, and more potential enemies for, at the time of Ahsoka, the New Republic. So, and another cool part, Lars Mikkelsen is confirmed to be live action Thrawn. So we get the same fantastically smooth, sinister voice live. That's going to be dope too. So yeah, that's just, all kinds of fun stuff happening this week with leaks and Dragon. Love sci-fi in general, Star Wars, Star Trek, Babylon 5, Battlestar, Buck Rogers, Stargate. Yes. Oh, there's starting to be some rumblings over at Amazon about the Stargate. Once I start getting more solid information, I'm gonna start talking about that too, because I'm not just Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. I am Trek and I am Gate. And Buck Rogers, God, I loved that show when I was a kid. Fucking Twiggy, beep 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 beep. Hello, Buck. I love that shit. But yeah, so there's definitely some things going on next year with the Star Wars that have high potential, have very high potential. We will see if they live up to that potential. I'm definitely more confident about Ahsoka than I am, or actually I would say I'm equally as confident in Ahsoka and Mando, Slightly less on the Bad Batch 2, but that's only because, and I don't lack confidence in it for my own taste. I lack confidence in its potential performance because Bad Batch 1 was only semi well received. Maybe that's changed over time. I haven't really checked, honestly. So, but I'm definitely very much confident in Ahsoka and Mando. I'm definitely way more wait and see with the Acolyte, but that's got humongous potential, in my opinion. I mean, we get Jedi and Sith back for fuck's sake, so who the hell can be pissed about that? Well, obviously, I can if they write it like shit. But, you know, at a minimum, we get we get Jedi and Sith back, and that is a very good thing. So, that's kind of the newsy that I can think of. Just out of curiosity, has anyone actually been if any of you are on Josh's Discord, Den of Nerds, I know you are, Justin. If anyone's on that Discord, again, I just want to talk about this little fun crap. Did any of you see the Josh versus James Gunn shit play out earlier today on the tweeters and the summaries of it happening on the Discord at all? Because holy crap, that shit is funny. I talked about this earlier, but it's just too much fun. I have to talk about it again. So earlier today, like, you know, midday, Josh tweets out, James Gunn does not like Henry Cavill, or Gunn doesn't like Cavill, or some, you know what? Forget trying to do this shiz from memory. Give me un momento, and let me get this crap pulled up here. Get out of there. Can everyone hear the music? You liking the beats? Where'd it go? See, the fun part is where this is gone. Okay, so here we go. Den of Nerds tweets out, James Gunn does not like Henry Cavill. And then some dude pops in, Justin Fields is the Messiah, whoever that person is. Sends it, quotes it to James Gunn, says, care to debunk this one? James Gunn actually responds 2 minutes after that, sure, false. Josh responds, even more people have reached out to me since you said this to tell me you really don't like him. Just saying what I heard. James Gunn's response, so weird, you seem so plugged in. Anyway, I just had 40 people reach out to me to say you just got kicked out of your mom's basement. So sorry, man. And then Josh tweets back, LOL, I like you, why you so triggered? I'm not sure if anything has gone on past that, but I do know that later on this afternoon, when I was looking through news to find, see if there's anything else I could talk about on the newer side, besides what most of us probably already have heard this week. The Hollywood Reporter came out with an article. James Gunn debunks, dislike of Henry Cavill or something like that. Now, Hollywood Reporter went over the tweet thing, but they did not mention Josh by name or the Den of Nerds. They just said a fan. Now, there's an article in the Direct about this thing too that straight up mentions Josh and the Den of Nerds by name. Matter of fact, they even call him Joshua. Joshua Lucas. They refer to him in the article. Oh, which is just funny as fuck to me. So yeah, whether you think it's good news, whether you think it's good exposure or bad exposure, Den of Nerds is getting some exposure today by getting into a snark battle with the new head of DC. So I know we've been already kind of going back and forth in the chat, but what do y'all think about all this fun stuff? When do you have an opinion on the Star Wars stuff? You got an opinion on the DC stuff? You got an opinion on the Den of Nerd stuff? Anything you want to talk about? Honestly, I mean, like I said, this is the Saturday night chill. We're sitting back. We're relaxed. We're petting our Black Panther beanie baby. It's a Saturday. What we all want to talk about, if anything, or do we all just want to go watch the UFC now or something? Oh, you must be referring to the music and stuff. Okay, thank you very much for that, Black Dragon. I appreciate your help. No, we're gonna have a shorty tonight. Well, compared to my first two, which were an hour and a half and damn near 2 hours. But I mean, if y'all don't have anything you want to chit chat about, like I said, I'm open, man. This is like free time. Like I don't give a crap. Like anyone's thoughts on anything. Don't watch the UFC. Don't watch the UFC, he says. I love the UFC. Why should I not love the UFC and not watch it? I am curious. Actually, I like mixed martial arts, period. I used to watch the WEC back when it was on Showtime. I watched the PFL. I pop into Bellator every once in a while. I've watched LFA replays. I love mixed martial arts. Oh! You don't. Okay. You don't watch. All right. I mean, hey. Nothing wrong with not watching the UFC. At all. Nothing whatsoever. I mean, I'm a big fan, but, like I said, to each their own. There's people that love the sequels, people that hate the sequels, people that are mid. Well, about Disney Star Wars in general, really. So, you're going to get that on literally everything. It's just the way the world works, y'all. Well, you know what? I honestly don't mind a short stream. My throat's a little froggy. Ribbit. And my wife just got home, and I would like to hang out with her some too. So, I hope y'all have fun tonight. We will be back next week. Again, gunning. Hold a 4th degree black belt and took a. I'm gonna try this. Don't get mad at me. Togakure Ryu Shinobi Jujutsu or Shinobi Jutsu. How would I do? Don't need to watch it. Well, yeah, I feel that, man. Yeah, if I was probably like 10 times more badass than those guys, I probably wouldn't watch it either. What the hell is that one? Togakure Ryu Shinobi Jutsu. Shinobi Jutsu. Is that like a combo grappling striking thing? Is that all striking? Is that all grappling? Is that just a system designed to end people as soon as humanly possible? What's up with that shiz? I'm very curious. Very, very curious. Now I have to Google. Togakure Ryu. Oopsie. Shinobi Jutsu. Ah. Oh, this is cool. All right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That looks dope as fuck, dude. Yeah, that'll mess some people up. That'll mess some people up hardcore. Not bad. Pronounced Tagaka. Oh, Tagakakuru. Cure, like cure a disease cure. Tagakakuru. Dope. Yeah, I just Googled that a little bit. Yeah, people should not mess with you anytime ever. not if they enjoy health and their bones all being in one piece and shiz. All right. Enough of this long goodbye garbage. It was good to see everybody. Black Dragon, good to see you. Good to see the Aussie. That was before going into BUDs. Oh, well, so you had a little bit of advantage in that. That's dope. So yeah, hope everyone had a good time chilling with me tonight on the Saturday Night Chill here in the basement. We will be back next Saturday again, hopefully with some more fun news to talk about or fun things, nerdy or otherwise. Like I said, I'm wide open. So hope everyone has a good rest of your weekend. I hope life doesn't trigger you all. Hope life doesn't trigger you all too much before next Saturday. But if it does, know that you always have a safe place to come chill. Well, basically to just come and chill right here in the basement with me. So hope everybody has, and be well out there. And like I always say, there's always good times to be had when you're chilling in the basement.